I'm going to school just to get a degree. When do we let go of this mindset of going to school just to collect a degree? When do we admit that this mindset has always been flawed and misleading? I threw these questions to a group of students and graduates, and here's my take on it. Broadly, I think the statement is flawed and misleading, but I think there are also exceptions to it. For instance, if someone has achieved a reasonable level of success, especially financial success, without no academic qualifications, and they decide to go back to school solely to acquire a degree, that's a choice I can understand. I can also make an exception for the Nepo babies and kids from wealthy families who completed their secondary school and decides to go to the higher institution just to get a degree. I mean, it does make sense for this category of individuals to make such statements because at the end of the day, they've already had their financial stability secured. So now here's my take. I struggle to understand why an average in Nigeria who struggled to go through primary and secondary education would tell themselves that they're going to school just to earn a degree. Despite having little or no financial security, it feels like selling yourself short. And that's why I feel like this is a mindset we need to unlearn. This statement didn't come out of nowhere. We're in a country where people have realized that getting a degree no longer guarantees a job. But frankly, that's only part of the story. Over the years, students and sponsors have reinforced this mindset, largely because society has failed to acknowledge individuals who have achieved success without the formal education. So why urging the government to provide more job opportunities for graduates to look forward to? The society also needs to acknowledge the current reality that school is not the only legitimate pathway for young people to achieve success. So yeah, we need to move past the criticism and allow students who has finished secondary school to pursue other alternative paths, such as skill, businesses, and other pathways that do not require the formal academic qualifications. And with this mindset, I believe we're able to build an educational system filled with students who genuinely wants to be there and are willing to go through the process because their final destination requires the academic pathway, regardless of whether the job is guaranteed at the end or not. So on the other side of this issue, there are this sort of people who they've concluded that their path to success does not require the academic qualification. They insist that school is a scam and they do not want to work a 9 to 5. However, they're still there just to get a degree. Now you see this set of people, they exchange money for grades, they exchange sex for grades, and they convince themselves that they are the ones breaking free. They convince themselves that they are escaping the matrix. However, these people are actually the ones in a deeper trap. They are the ones in a double matrix. So the point I'm really driving at is you're an adult, you're being sponsored by one. And at the end of the day, it's your decision to unlearn this mindset or not. But if you find yourself going to school for reasons like boosting your self esteem, socializing, and gaining knowledge, you should understand that in today's world, knowledge can be acquired from countless of sources. Because what really matters is whether this knowledge improves your daily lives and supports your survival as a human being. And that also goes for socialization. On the other hand, so people say they can juggle business alongside education. However, if the course you're studying in school does not align or enhance the business and skill which you're already pursuing, then all you've done is learn a new skill, which is not a bad thing. But you've also slowed this path that is already working for you. So in conclusion, in as much as school is a very important pathway, I believe it's not the only pathway. So we should learn to explore every other pathway in this day and age. At the end of the day, I do not expect my voice to change the thoughts on people. But if it changes only one person, then that's a win for me.